In the heart of Eastern Europe, a nation stands at the precipice of its destiny. Ukraine, a country steeped in history and culture, is currently embroiled in a struggle that's shaking the very foundations of international diplomacy. This is not just a struggle for territory, prosperity, or influence. This is a struggle for the very essence of what Ukraine is and what it aspires to be. The country is caught in a war, a conflict that is searing the hearts and homes of its people. Yet, amidst the turmoil, the spirit of the Ukrainian people remains unwavering, their resilience a testament to their enduring will. But let's not forget that this is not just Ukraine's fight. The ripples of this conflict are felt far and wide, impacting Central and Eastern European countries, and indeed the entire global community. The echoes of this battle reach the corridors of power in Washington and Brussels, challenging the moral authority of NATO and testing the resolve of the international community. The United States, as the principal security guarantor in Europe, finds itself in a delicate position. There's a growing concern about the US's hesitation in supporting Ukraine, a concern that's kindled by leaders like Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk. The potential impact on NATO's credibility is a significant worry, and the need for Washington's leadership has never been more crucial. The European states, too, are not mere spectators. They have been making strides to enhance their defense capabilities and prepare for potential conflicts. The complacency that swept over Europe after the collapse of the Soviet Union has given way to a renewed sense of vigilance and urgency. The involvement of Republicans in advocating for Ukraine and the support shown by some senators in advancing the Ukraine aid bill is commendable. Yet, the fragile peace in Central and Eastern Europe hangs by a thread, and the challenges faced by Ukraine in its path towards European integration are monumental. The erosion of Washington's influence and the need for moral and strategic clarity from Ukraine's allies is more apparent than ever. The world is at a crossroads, and the decisions made today will reverberate down the corridors of history. As the world watches, the fate of Ukraine hangs in the balance, and the response of NATO could play a pivotal role in shaping the future. Enter NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, an alliance built upon mutual defense and shared democratic values. Established in the aftermath of the Second World War, NATO has been the cornerstone of peace and security in Europe for over 7 decades. It's a coalition of nations, bound by the principle of collective defense, meaning an attack on one is considered an attack on all. Now let's dive into how NATO is connected to the situation in Ukraine. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine is more than just a regional issue. It's a litmus test for NATO's credibility and effectiveness. The organization's response to the crisis will not only impact the geopolitical dynamics in Europe, but also the very essence of NATO's existence. Central and Eastern European countries, many of them NATO members, watch the situation in Ukraine with bated breath. Leaders like Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk have expressed their concerns about the hesitation shown by some NATO members in supporting Ukraine, fearing it could potentially impact NATO's credibility. The question that looms large is, can NATO stand by its commitment to mutual defense and uphold its moral authority? In the face of potential conflicts, European states within NATO are ramping up their defense capabilities. They look to Washington, the principal security guarantor in Europe, for leadership. However, the complacency that set in post the collapse of the Soviet Union is being challenged, with the United States grappling to maintain its moral authority. The war in Ukraine has laid bare the nation's reliance on the United States for military support. This situation has led to increased advocacy within the United States, with some senators pushing forward the Ukraine aid bill. However, the fragile peace in Central and Eastern Europe hangs in the balance, as Ukraine faces challenges in its path towards European integration. The erosion of Washington's influence and the need for moral and strategic clarity from Ukraine's allies underscores the importance of NATO's role. The alliance must remember its founding principles of unity, mutual defense, and shared democratic values as it navigates this crisis. NATO's response to Ukraine's call for help will be a test of its moral authority and its commitment to its founding principles. Maintaining moral authority in an ever-changing geopolitical landscape is no small feat. This truth is evident as we consider the role of NATO in the current crisis in Ukraine. The challenges faced by this transatlantic alliance in maintaining its moral authority are complex and multifaceted, and they've been brought into sharp relief by the situation in Ukraine. At the heart of these challenges is the hesitance of some member nations, particularly the United States, to fully support Ukraine. This hesitance sends ripples of unease through the alliance, causing leaders like Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk to voice concerns about the potential impact on NATO's credibility. After all, moral authority is not just about having power, but about how that power is used. As the principal security guarantor in Europe, the United States plays a crucial role in setting the tone for NATO's actions. But when that leadership wavers, it can create a vacuum that breeds uncertainty and mistrust. And this isn't just about Ukraine. The complacency of Europe after the collapse of the Soviet Union has left the continent unprepared for potential conflicts. The war in Ukraine and the country's reliance on the US for military support are stark reminders of the challenges ahead. But it's not all gloom and doom. Some rays of hope are piercing through the uncertainty. The efforts of European states to enhance their defense capabilities are a positive step towards self-reliance. The involvement of Republicans in advocating for Ukraine and the support shown by some senators in advancing the Ukraine aid bill indicate that there is a will to act, even amidst the hesitations. Yet the potential erosion of Washington's influence and the need for moral and strategic clarity from Ukraine's allies highlight the importance of maintaining moral authority. It's a delicate balancing act, one that requires not just power, but wisdom and a clear vision. In these turbulent times, the actions of NATO will determine whether it stands as a beacon of hope or a symbol of unfulfilled promises. The challenge of maintaining moral authority is not one to be taken lightly. As we navigate this complex geopolitical landscape, the choices we make today will shape the world of tomorrow. In the face of adversity, unity and support can be the most potent weapons. These words ring especially true when we consider the current plight of Ukraine. Amidst growing tensions and a fragile peace, the nation stands on the precipice of change, with its path towards European integration fraught with challenges. At this critical juncture, the role of unity and support from allies cannot be overstated. NATO, as a beacon of collective defense and security, has a significant role to play. It's not just about military aid or financial support, but also about a clear moral and strategic backing that can bolster Ukraine's autonomy and future. Let's consider the potential consequences if unity and support from NATO and other allies waver. The erosion of influence is not merely a hypothetical scenario. As we've seen in the past, complacency can lead to a vacuum of power, making room for forces that threaten the peace and stability of regions. The potential impact on Central and Eastern European countries is a stark reminder of this reality. But it's not all doom and gloom. The importance of unity and support is not just about preventing negative outcomes. It's also about fostering positive change. It's about strengthening the resolve of nations, striving for independence and autonomy. It's about bolstering the credibility of organizations like NATO and reinforcing their moral authority on the global stage. So, while the challenges ahead are formidable, they are not insurmountable. With unity and steadfast support, nations like Ukraine can navigate the tumultuous waters of geopolitical conflicts. They can chart their own course towards a future of peace, stability, and prosperity. But unity and support are not just responsibilities of organizations or governments. They are values that we, as global citizens, can embody. Through understanding, empathy, and advocacy, we can contribute to the collective strength that can help nations like Ukraine navigate their path. The road ahead is fraught with challenges, but with unity and steadfast support, Ukraine can navigate its path towards a brighter future. Let's remember this as we continue to explore the complexities of geopolitical landscapes, and as we strive to make a difference in our own ways, no matter how small they may seem. The situation in Ukraine is a stark reminder of the complexities of global politics and the crucial role of alliances like NATO. As we draw this discussion to a close, let's take a moment to reflect on the key points we've delved into today. Ukraine finds itself in a precarious situation, caught in the crossfire of geopolitical tensions. This situation underscores the vital role that NATO plays, not just as a military alliance, but as a beacon of moral authority in an increasingly complex world. NATO's moral authority isn't just about military might. It's about standing up for the values that bind its member nations together: peace, democracy, and human rights. It's about showing unity in the face of adversity, about standing shoulder to shoulder with nations like Ukraine, offering support and reinforcing their autonomy and future. The challenges that NATO faces in preserving this moral authority are not trivial. The dynamics of global politics are always shifting, and maintaining a united front requires ongoing commitment and vigilance. The complacency of Europe following the collapse of the Soviet Union has reminded us that peace and stability are never guaranteed, but must be actively pursued and protected. In supporting Ukraine, NATO has an opportunity to demonstrate its commitment to these values and to its role as the principal security guarantor in Europe. This is not just about the fate of one nation, but about the stability and security of the entire region. It's about reinforcing the credibility of NATO and ensuring that its influence and moral authority are not eroded. As we continue to watch the situation unfold, we must remember our shared commitment to peace, democracy, and human rights. Thank you for joining us today. Please like, subscribe, and support this channel by buying us a cup of coffee. Your engagement fuels our commitment to bring you more insightful content. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious.